Today marks 9 years since I started the Ellis County Weather Twitter page. Of course, we're South Metro Weather now, and there's been a lot of changes over the years, and I cannot say how thankful I am to all of you, from family and friends to fans to sponsors and community partners, all of you that make this possible. And I have to be honest, rain would have been a great anniversary gift, but I'll take the cooler temperatures as well. You look behind me here, 85, 86 degrees for your highs today. That's a lot better than where we were yesterday. Waco made it to 104 yesterday, racing right past that record. Fortunately today, though, we're much farther away from those record highs. We're still a little bit above normal. Normal's right around 80, 81 degrees, but I mean, you can't argue with a dry 85 degrees. It's been breezy this morning too. Overnight tonight, 60, 61. I won't be surprised if some of you drop into the upper 50s overnight tonight. And tomorrow, unfortunately, will be warmer, but we do have cooler air that will be coming in the next couple of days. Allergens, not a whole lot of help there. We're still in the medium-high range. Elm, juniper, and yes, ragweed. I think ragweed is the one that's really been in the high range for a while, and that's been causing most of those issues. So just, hang in there. But hey, at least we don't have air pollution issues and high temperatures and the allergens. Maybe we can just take this one at a time. I want to show you in the tropics. Now, I understand that we're all a little bit weary of tropical weather. We've had two major hurricanes hit the United States. Right now, there's only this one. So this is in the Atlantic Basin here. They're between the main development region and the Caribbean. Just a 50% chance on the next 7 days here. I think over the next couple of days, it's really just a 10 or 20% chance. So not a high probability that we're going to see something here very soon. But in the next 7 days, we could see this develop into something. And it's still early to put any kind of track on this. But it does look to, at least right now, does look to move towards the Caribbean, maybe stay on the north side of the Caribbean there. And we'll have to wait and see if that's going to continue on towards the Gulf or take the track that many of these storms have and just kind of go out to sea. So we're already in the ends. I believe the next name is going to be Nadine. Several of those storms, though, we went from Helene to Milton here as far as what hit the United States. There were a few that just stayed out to sea. So hopefully, if this one does develop into something, let's just keep it out to sea. Let's just keep it out in the water and not get any kind of impacts from that. Really, it's far too early to know if that's going to do anything at all for us here in North Texas. So here's the big picture here. Here's the front that came through. And you're probably wondering, okay, cold front came through, it's in the 80s, but where's the fall weather we keep talking about? Well, that's staying up north in Canada there. So we have to wait a couple of days before this much colder air mass, I was going to say, finally makes its way down into the United States. Tuesday, tomorrow, we will be quite warm. We will be upper 80s, possibly low 90s across our area. And then Wednesday morning, you'll wake up and you'll feel much cooler temperatures as that next cold front moves in. Late Tuesday, early Wednesday, we could be in the 50s area wide for those lows there. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. Now, as far as rain, neither one of these fronts, the one that came through and the one that's headed this way, neither of those are going to bring rain. We will be watching to our northwest for another low pressure system, not this one, but it'll be another one, that will dive down into the desert southwest, and it looks like it's going to kind of just hang out there, just sit there right over the four corners and rotate for a while. It's not going to do anything for us while it's there. That will keep all of the precipitation in West Texas. What I'm watching for is what happens when that ejects, because we commonly see them do that. They'll dive into the desert southwest and then they'll eject over the heartland. A lot of times that's when it brings a Pacific front through, and that sometimes can bring us rain. So over the weekend, we will get a little more humid. We'll see more clouds. Good news is I don't see any crazy heat index values. But we will be more humid as we get into the 80s again for the weekend. And then early next week, if we can get that low pressure system to eject and bring some lift with it to go along with that moisture, we might get a few showers and thunderstorms. It doesn't look like a washout or anything, but we'll have to wait and see. And then beyond that, there's other chances of rain in the forecast, at least the extended forecast if you look at the models. but that's all beyond that 7-day period where everything is pretty much a big guess. Too big, really, for us to focus on. So for right now, let's just look at the forecast as we have it today. 85. I do think the winds subside a little bit as we get into the afternoon. Tomorrow, breezy winds out of the west as we await this front. Ahead of it though, yeah, we're going to be warm again, 80s, upper 80s, low 90s across our area. And then here, Wednesday and Thursday, that's where we have our cooler temperatures, lows in the 50s here. Wednesday morning, you will notice a change, at least as long as everything stays on this current timeline. And then this weekend, we do warm up a little bit, but not much. Low 80s for our highs. So we're not going back to the 90s here, not going back to the crazy triple digits that we saw over the last couple of days. We will stay cool overnight, upper 50s, right around 60 for your lows. And getting just beyond this, we'll see more clouds over the weekend, and then Monday, Tuesday range, possibly Wednesday. That's where we'll be watching to see if we can get any rain at all out of this system. We're still several days away. The forecast will probably change a few times as we refine that. So stay tuned to South Metro Weather because I will be watching to see if we're going to get any rain here. What I want to mention, last thing, we're staying dry here. And you notice the winds are pretty breezy here. That's going to elevate our fire danger. We have the only burn ban left in our area is Navarro County. We don't have one in Ellis Johnson or Hill counties here, and really several counties around us have already ended theirs as well. I want you to understand, everything looks green right now, but we talked about this a couple of weeks ago when there was so much social media hoopla about a flash drought. Well, we had enough rain this season, a couple of rain events to grow the vegetation. Well, now we're drying out, so that fuel out there in those fields, that tall grass and those weeds, that's going to dry out. And then we have dry air coming in with this very low dew points, and we have increased winds. That is a recipe for fires to start and happen very quickly. So just be careful with that. I will bring you updates, of course, if any of those burn bans are brought back. But for now, enjoy the cooler weather, but just keep in mind that if you want to start up the campfire, you need to be very careful out there as very dry and breezy conditions continue.